watching this program at home. We are at the, you are watching the Cold Spring Mayoral debate, and we have Mayor Doug Schmitz with us tonight, and we have City Councilman Bob Thelen. Both are serving on the, obviously on the City Council, so that folks are familiar with what you're watching here at home, and those that might just have joined us in the audience here at the City Hall. Let's go to question number 3, and Councilman Bob Thelen, you have this question to answer first. There have been complaints that the city's sign ordinances are too restrictive, and other complaints that the codes need to be more restrictive. If elected mayor, what would you recommend regarding signage within the city?
I guess the easiest way to start this process is to remind people that the reason that we have the sign ordinance in the first place is because what the city's attempt is, the city's goal is to make it so that one business does not have an unfair competitive advantage over another business. As a general rule, businesses know how to operate their businesses. They know what they need, they know what they want. So at the Planning Commission, probably a year ago, we started the process of trying to review our sign ordinance and come up with a new ordinance, and we made some revisions to that sign ordinance. If you compare our current sign ordinance to that of surrounding cities, St. Joe's, surrounding cities around here, what you'll find is that as a general rule, we're very competitive. Ours is on the small side, but it's relatively competitive with cities in the area. I think that what we need to do is we need to be flexible and allow businesses the opportunity that if they need to have the expanded signage, that they have the flexibility within reason to have that extra signage. What we need to do is we need to make certain that certain signs that we receive many complaints about, the banner type signs and the floppy signs, signs that people complain about, we need to do more to restrict those kinds of things. But as far as signage itself goes, we need to encourage the fair and orderly compliance with our sign ordinance, and the sign ordinance needs to be made more relaxed and more relevant to today's times. Thank you.
Mayor Doug Schmitz.
I truly feel our sign ordinance is right where it needs to be. If we were to allow more and larger signs around town, I think it would take away from our small town feeling that the people in Cold Spring want. I mean, I think it would take away from our beauty of our downtown, our residential area, and we'd start to look like Division Street in St. Cloud, where you can't even see half the business because their signs are all there. I think other citizens do not want us to make any changes to it, and they don't like, or they wouldn't like it to happen. So I truly believe our sign ordinance is where it needs to be in the city of Cold Spring. Thank you.
Councilman Bob Thelen, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal if you'd like.
Thank you. I think what we need to do is we need to take a look at the location of these different signs. A sign that's appropriate out on Highway 23 where a business is set back from the highway a good distance and cars are going past at 50 miles an hour, that business may need a sign of a certain size. You put that exact same sign with the exact same size on a business in downtown Cold Spring, and yes, it will look inappropriate. So my proposal is that we take a look at the reasonableness of this whole thing, and we take a look and decide what makes sense for the city of Cold Spring.
All right, our next question, Mayor Doug Schmitz, you'll have the first opportunity to answer this question. There's been a tremendous amount of attention given to the creation of the Chain of Lakes Fire and Rescue District. How does this affect Cold Spring, and what should be the city's reaction?
First of all, I personally don't think it's going to happen. I think cooler heads will prevail to the west of us. But I've always said that we, the city of Cold Spring, should not be meddling with other cities' problems. I mean, we have a great relationship with the townships and on our fire coverage as the way it stands now. It appears that the townships really have no input on fire decisions to our west, and that's where they got to the point where they're at now. I think we, as Cold Spring, we've always had our township folks involved in the budget every year. We've had them involved in purchases of our trucks or any of our other gear the past years. We've always had them involved in the hiring process of the past firefighters, and I truly believe the township feels they have a buy-in in their fire coverage here in Cold Spring. So again, I don't believe it's gonna happen. I think cooler heads will prevail there, because I truly don't think it's a good thing for any of the entities, that the townships or the other city fire department, the way it stands now. Thank you.
Councilman Bob Thelen, your reaction to that question?
I don't know whether or not there will be another fire department, or whether there will not be. What I do know is that within the city of Cold Spring, we have more than 100 years of tradition of excellent service, and that will continue. Those people in the townships that surround Cold Spring, if they're interested in continuing with that service, I need them to understand that the city of Cold Spring will never abandon anyone that is under contract with the city of Cold Spring. We've provided excellent service before. We will continue to provide excellent service. That will not change. Whether they form a new department or not, that will not change. As far as should the city of Cold Spring be participating in the discussions, what I think we need to do is we have to understand that we don't live in a vacuum. While the question is actually says about the fire district, what we need to realize is that there are a lot of different things that are going on in the area around us that the city of Cold Spring needs to participate in, and this is just an example of those things. What I think we need to do is we need, as a community, to be more able to communicate with each other, as well as with the township and our adjoining cities, to make sure that we're as efficient as we can with the way we spend our resources and with the way we treat and respect one another.
Mayor Schmitz, you've got 30 seconds for a rebuttal if you choose.